Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for Mom Luxuries. Can you say hi? Can you say hi? Yeah. So today I wanted to do a video other than just a makeup tutorial because being a mom and whatnot. So I guess for this video I wanted to do something for her because without her I wouldn't have this channel. I wouldn't have, basically the Mom Luxuries concept and whatnot. So to start out, it was around like August 22nd, I think, and I started feeling like slight contractions. So I was like, oh, maybe they're just Braxton Hicks, me not being going through like a whole pregnancy before, and it was my first pregnancy. I had no idea what to expect. So I was like, oh, like I said, maybe they're just Braxton Hicks. I have no idea. So I don't know, I was second guessing. I was like, oh, maybe they're Braxton Hicks. Maybe it's the real thing. I don't want to like jinx it and just like go to the hospital and be sent home. Yeah. And then be sent home and everything. So I guess, so they sent me home, of course. That's what I didn't want because it's like a half-hour drive, which is a pain in the butt for anybody, especially with the traffic and whatnot all the way out by Dobson. So there was that. We went home and I just started walking up and down the stairs. I started walking, you want a high five? I started walking up and down the stairs. I started, I don't know, eating spicy food. I think I had some chili or whatnot. I can't really remember what else I had, but it was just a little bit of spicy food because I didn't want to overdo it. Because I think for me, like, that's just way too much and that would not be good for your stomach or anybody's stomach. So there's that, and I went to bed that night feeling a little bit extra like uncomfortable. That's when I went ahead and I just tried to get some sleep, I guess, because they sent me home. That next morning I remember my dad coming down the stairs for work and everything to get his lunch ready, and I was talking to him and he just didn't seem like himself, I guess. So I asked him, I was like, are you okay? He just said he wasn't feeling good, or he said he wasn't feeling good. I told him that he should probably come home, if worst case scenario. He said, yeah. But then he ended up leaving for work and whatnot. I went ahead and I think it was a couple hours later, like 2 or 3 hours later, and I went ahead to go in my room to go lay down. Excuse me. And I remember like looking out the window and I could see his car, and I was like, that's weird, like, okay, so he's obviously home because he's not feeling good. So I went out there to go check on him. He's like, yeah, I just pulled up and everything, I'm about to go lay down. I was like, oh, me too, like I'll lay down too in my room. And he's like, okay. So he went and lay down, I guess, and a couple hours later my mom came home around like 6ish, I'm guessing. She went upstairs and I guess he told her what was going on, like how he didn't feel good, but he was starting to get worse, like having hot and cold sweats. He was, I guess, puking, so that was just like really bad signs and whatnot. So they all like agreed that they wanted him to go to the hospital. So they ended up taking him to the hospital, and he was having like an active heart attack. I don't remember what hospital they transferred him to, but they transferred him to a heart hospital, and they put 3 stents in his heart. This was all around 8 o'clock, and I was still having like really bad contractions. So I think this kind of like pushed everything, just like the scariness of having my dad going through a heart attack and whatnot, not knowing what to expect, I guess. So I think that kind of just like helped push things along. And around like 10, 11, I remember having a contraction that was just really bad. Let me type, baby. It was just really bad, and it put me on the floor basically. And Jeremy was like, is it really that bad? And I said, yeah, like it's that bad. And he's like, okay, well, if it stays the same or if it gets worse, then let's go ahead and take you to the hospital. So I was like, sure, why not? Like, I am so down for that. So knowing me and whatnot, I just started packing the bags. I knew that it was going to happen, whether he liked it or not. Yeah. Hi. Is that you? Yeah, I knew it was going to happen whether he liked it or not. So I started getting everything together, and we loaded everything up in the car. By midnight, we were at the hospital, and I got admitted because I was 5 centimeters dilated. I was dilating with my contractions and having pretty big contractions according to what they were saying. Look at you. Why are you crying? crying? So they went ahead, like I said, and admitted me. I was at a different hospital than my dad, so I went ahead and called my mom and let her know that we were at a different hospital and whatnot. They kept me there in a room, basically the room that we had her in the whole night. I was hooked up to monitors. It was really hard to get sleep, but we did manage to get some rest, just because there was only, one bed. And like I said, I was hooked up to all these wires, and I wanted Jeremy to get rest too, because I felt like it was important for both of us to get rest, because who would be able to take care of Akira, if both of us are just like tired out of our minds. Like, yeah, I know the nurses probably would, but that's not their job. Their job is to help us, not like completely take care of your child, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. We were, I guess, taking advantage of it to a certain extent, like for having them like help us wrap her and like those kind of small things, that because she was just rambunctious, man. She got every single wrap. Every single nurse that came in and wrapped her, like nobody could get her to stay in her wrap. She was just like, boop, arms out, boop, arms out, legs out. You can't contain me. Like legit, I couldn't do it. Nobody could do it. Somebody would have to like hold their arms down, and we would have to get this wrap so tight just to keep her in. Basically, it was like this whole thing. And so, like I was saying, I do remember the nurse that had come in. Her name was Chris. She was so helpful, so nice the entire night, because like I said, I was hooked up to monitors the entire night. They came in, the doctor that actually gave birth, like helped me give birth, she came in really early, and I don't remember what time, but I know it was before noon on August 25th, and they came in, they broke my water. I was around like 6 centimeters, so, let's see, 6 centimeters? Yeah, I was 6 centimeters when they broke my water, and it just felt like I was peeing like a lot. I don't know how to describe it other than that. So there was that, and I kept remember like telling these nurses like, hey, I give you guys props for this, like thank you guys so much, because I wouldn't be able to do it. I don't know how you guys are doing it. So like I said, I just kept thanking them over and over and again. I'm pretty sure I got really annoying, but you know what, I just wanted to make sure to show my appreciation for everything that they were doing for me. Other than that, let's see, yeah, I think I went from like 6 to 9 centimeters pretty quick, because I did have her around 2, and like I said, that was a little bit before noon when they broke my water. I'm guessing around 7-8 centimeters is when I asked for the the laughing gas, because they did have an IV in my wrist area for the narcotics, but I knew the narcotics went to Akira, and I knew that, if they told me this too, they said if you get the narcotics, then you're most likely not going to be able to get the epidural if you choose that you want it. So I was like, you know what, if I choose that I want it, I want the epidural, so let's go ahead and do the laughing gas. So I did the laughing gas for about 15-20 minutes, and I was just high as hell, like really bad pains. It was ridiculous. So there was that. I don't remember how long it took. Like I said, I'm guessing just probably a couple hours to get me to 9 centimeters. But just being high as hell and going through that pain, I was like, nope, I can't do this anymore. Give me the epidural. Bring the guy in. I was done. But luckily for me, it was actually just that like nick of time to get the epidural so I could push. So I basically had gone all the way up until I dilated, and then got the epidural and then pushed. So luckily for me, that I was lucky on that part. The guy came in, I remember, getting everything, yeah, by consent, and I remember Jeremy sitting next to me. I was holding his hand during contraction is when they did it. All I felt was the little poke of the little like numbing needle, and that was it. And then I could feel like pressure basically getting this long ass needle stuck through your spine. Basically I could see the expression on Jeremy's face. He's like, damn, like that's a really long needle. He thought he hit it, but me knowing him and seeing his facial expressions, yeah, I knew what to expect. But I was more focused on the contraction than I was anything else. on top of that too, they like laid me back down, and like it felt really weird having to, like, this basically an IV in your back. I don't know, it felt weird to lay down on it. And they also didn't give me a button, which I'm heard most people got a button, but I'm guessing it's because I was already like about to push, and that's the reason why they didn't do that, which I totally understand. A little while after that, I do remember having them give me the peanut ball. I don't know if you guys know what it is, but it's basically like it looks like a peanut in its shell. I don't know. Yeah, basically. And you put your knees in the part where it divots, and it's supposed to, I guess, help open up the cervix and help kind of like dilate everything and help get it all going. So I was on that for maybe 15 minutes, and at this point I was high as hell. I was numb, and I was just ready to get rid of this massive poo come out. But anyways, I finally got her. They say that I pushed for about 20 minutes, but I remember specifically like what happened before I started pushing. And in the video that my cousin took, because it was Jeremy, my mom, my cousin, like 2 nurses, and then the doctor, my cousin took the video, and when she started it, I remember the things that were happening before I started pushing, and that was in the video. And the video was only like 3.5 minutes long, but they say I pushed for 20 minutes. So I don't know, I'm just confused about all that. Maybe it's because, you know, I started like, felt like I was pushing before and they hadn't come in yet. Like, I have no idea. So there's that. And I want to say, I believe I gave birth to her at 2:44, so like before 2:45. Jeremy called it, that he's like, oh, yep, she's going to be here tomorrow, when we got admitted and everything. I was like, yeah, I believe you. And then in the morning, I was like, watch, she going to be here before 3 o'clock. And then sure enough, she was there at 2:44. I was right. Jeremy was right. Like, it was really cool just being on point with everything. I don't know. We did want her to be a Leo, so we were hoping that she would be here on the 23rd, but she ended up being here on the 25th, which is okay. She's a Virgo. We still love her. But also too, I guess before I end the video, there is a little backstory on her name, Akira Maitreya. Akira is like Japanese. I guess the one that I looked up was for wisdom and intelligence, and the other one that I looked up for Maitreya was like, there was a Buddhist one, and then there was one where it showed, I guess there's like a higher power in every single religion, and that's kind of what I wanted to say, was that I hope that she's someone that kind of brings everybody together on top of sharing her wisdom and her intelligence with the world. That's what we wanted to portray the message into her name and whatnot, me and Jeremy. So yeah, and just before I end this video, because obviously you can see she's getting tired, she wants to go down for a nap. You want to go night-night? You want to go night-night? Yeah, you want to go night-night? Okay. Alright guys, well, I can show you my makeup really quick. I just did my favorite look. I call it like a purple sunset. I don't know if you guys can see. I have really shitty lighting. I'm so sorry. But yeah, it's like I did a yellow, an orange, a pink, and then like a sparkly pink and whatnot. I don't know if you guys can see. Sorry. But yeah. So I hope you guys liked this video and her birth story. I'm sorry for probably being really boring, but I don't know. There's not really much else to tell besides like the craziness of what happened to my dad and the few days that I was basically in labor. By the way, my dad is okay. He's made a full recovery. Still drinking Red Bulls, which we're trying to get him off because we already know like that has something to play with it. We already know. But yeah, he's happy, he's healthy, he's back to work, and yeah. Akira, she's about to be a year old, so we're happy that he was able to see her and whatnot. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and put her down for a nap. Yeah, night-night. Night-night. You wanna go night-night? Yeah. And I hope you guys have a luxurious day. I hope you guys stay tuned for the next video. I'm actually thinking about doing like a food challenge or something like that, because you know me, I love food and I'm breastfeeding, so yum. All I think about is food all the time. If you guys think that's a good idea, comment what food challenge I should do for the next video. Also too, I'm hoping to get in touch with Brandon from Brandon McPeak Makeups, and maybe for a few videos down the line, me and him will be able to do a video. We just kind of recently introduced ourselves on Facebook, so I'm excited to see where that goes, because he looks like a really awesome guy, really talented. And yeah, go ahead and check out his channel too. And like I said, like, comment what you guys would like to see for the next video, subscribe, and have a luxurious day. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.